Hey, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, bringing you another Kickstarter playthrough. This time it is Endless Winter. This one is a Euro game set in Paleolithic times with some deck building, some set collection, some map area control. And what I'm going to show you today is the solo mode, which I think works really well. As usual for my Kickstarter coverage, no disclaimer needed. I'm just trying to help you make an informed decision, and I receive no compensation for this video. And also something a little bit different. I only got access to the Tabletop Simulator mod the weekend before the Kickstarter launched, so I don't feel comfortable doing a full review for this one. The game's already all set up for solo, but let me walk you through the main areas of the game. Here we've got my player board. I've got tokens to track both my meat and my tools. And here I can kind of zoom in to show this to you. On those bottom three spaces, bottom left, those are spaces for sacred stones that'll give me endgame scoring. And then on the right, you'll see bonuses that I'll get at the end of each round. But right now, those are covered in my villages and my megaliths, these little tokens that'll go on the board. I've also got my 3 worker meeples. I'm going to take basically 3 actions a turn. You'll see that soon. And then I said that this game had some deck building. I've got a deck of 10 cards. And this card here that I randomly started with determined my starting resources, which chief I have and which animals I started with and which resources. So here I've got a woolly mammoth and a Argentavis. I'm not sure how to say that. And Chief Chiselstone here I have on her basic side, but I could flip her to her advanced side where she has a specific bonus. But yeah, for now I'll keep her on the basic side. Going to the left of the player board, we've got the idle track. I've got my cube red and the teal cube for the AI. And we're going to be racing up these 2 tracks. This one will give us victory points based on the number of cards we cull from our deck by burying them. That'll be this little burial symbol you'll see more later. And this track will determine how many victory points we get for food and tools left at the end of the game. Moving over a bit more, we get the core deck building offer. These 5 cards at the top are always going to be the same in every game. These are the basic advanced tribesman cards we can add to our deck. But these 8 culture cards down here are randomized each game from both the level 1 and the level 2 culture cards, and we'll get new ones each round as we go through. We have the score track going around the outside, and sorry, the AI should be on 0 with me. Or here, we can put him next to me. We've got the player order track. I've randomly determined the AI will go first for this first turn. We've got the round marker. We have a round, then an eclipse phase where some eclipse powers will fire off, which kind of relates to all this stuff over here. Second round, eclipse phase. Third round, eclipse phase. Fourth round. So it's 4 rounds in the game before you finish up. Then we have our main action spaces. We're going to be putting our little worker meeples on these, both me and the AI. And finally, we have our sacred stones that I'd mentioned before. You have 2 available at first, then you'll unlock 2 more in each new round. And again, these give you endgame scoring for different stuff. Over here, we've got the animal board. This is for the set collection. You're going to be getting these different animals, and they'll either give you food by basically eating them, or you can keep them for set victory points. And we're going to draw more cards from this deck over here. Over here, we've got the AI area, their megaliths, their villages, their worker meeples. They also have a deck of cards, 2 of each of the advanced cards, but that's only used to track how many cards they've buried. They never actually use their deck. Instead, they have this unique solo deck, still very much a prototype. You'll see when I flip it over that the icons are still kind of being worked on. But this is going to run all of the AI's actions. We'll see that in action soon. Almost done. We've got our map. The AI has their chief down here with all of their camps, these little squares. I only start with 1 camp. And basically, in an area control fashion, we're going to be moving around, putting things down in these spaces. The white glacier ones don't give us any bonus, but these other ones give us little bonuses at the end of the eclipse phase if we have the most stuff on them. And then finally, there's one more map we're competing on. Don't worry, it'll all make sense as you see it in action. This is where our megaliths go, and they'll get us little bonuses as we put things down on them. And there's this whole scoring thing with like how high they are and the number of megaliths beneath them, but you'll see that as we play. And here you go, the whole thing in all its glory. And just to kind of summarize, we're going to alternate taking actions, me and the AI. So they're going to take one, then I'll take one, back and forth. I'll play my cards to boost the actions I'm taking. That's the main thing they're good for. After we've taken actions, we'll resolve eclipse phases, getting bonuses for our majorities on the map, getting a new turn order. We'll unlock some new sacred stones. We'll get some new culture cards. Rinse and repeat 4 times, and then we see who has the most victory points at the end. But as I already showed you, the AI is first, so let's show you how their turn works. So as I said, they have this deck of cards, and at the beginning of each round, whether they're first or second, you're going to flip up the topmost card. And again, this is very much a prototype. But the first thing I'm looking for is in the bottom left, do they have this little eclipse icon? And here they do. So that means I'm going to take the next top card and put it in a little eclipse pile for them, basically building up points for the eclipse phase at the end of the round. Now, if I was first in the round, that would be it. I would just get to see a little bit about what they might do because these bottom actions might be executed. But whenever they actually take their turn, which they're doing because they're first in turn order, I'll flip over the next card and I'll place it kind of, let's see if I can get it to work. I'll place it over the top half of the previous card, and then I'm going to look at the top to figure out what action they're taking. So just zooming in, you'll see a small gray arrow, and it's pointing down towards this little mountain action, which means they're going to go ahead and migrate and try to gain some territory. But I also look again, is there an eclipse symbol? There is, so they get a second card. Here they go. And now getting back to the action, as I showed you on this action board, there are 4 actions. This one basically gets you advanced actions and does some deck building, also lets you bury and call cards from your deck. This one lets you get culture cards and those endgame sacred stones. This one lets you put camps down on the board for area majority and move them around, and also build villages, which are like big sections of area control. And finally, this one deals with the animals over here and either turns over more animals or gets more that you can eat or gets set collection victory points for. And you saw that the AI preferred mountains, but the key thing is the first player to go to a specific action spot gets a little bonus. This icon down here, for me, the AI is a little bit different. And the AI doesn't want to go to a place where I already went. So if I had gone first and I had gone to the mountain, they would instead use a tiebreaker to go to a different action spot. But since nobody's there, they are going to be the first one there. So I take their action meeple and I put it on that bottom spot just to show that if I take that same action, I'd only get the top options here. And now that I've picked where they're going, I proceed from top to bottom. So first, they're going to get a megalith on the little megalith board I showed you. Then here with the teal and white hexagons, they're going to move and place camps on the area majority map. And then at the bottom here, they're going to try to place a village. Let's go through each of those because these are the most common kind of mountain actions we'll take. So for megaliths, they're always taking their leftmost one that's available. The first 2 are gray and don't count as their color, so aren't really scoring them victory points. But then later on, both they and I will be able to get bonuses from them in terms of victory point scoring. So where are they going to put the megalith? For any action on a card, you're going to look at that card's tiebreakers right here in the bottom left corner. So this means the bottommost space available, and then if there's still a tie, the leftmost space available. And that'll apply for both the megalith and if there's any tie for this thing. And then for this next part of the card, we'll look at these tiebreakers, rightmost and then bottommost. And that's how it works for everything. If they're doing any action, you're going to look at the row and see what the tiebreakers are. So for the megalith, you want it to be on the bottommost, which corresponds to the bottom board. You'll see that we kind of have like 4 boards set up here. So, and they always want to start on this little megalith kind of outward arrow thing. He puts his space there. And the AI never actually resolves any of the icons here. They're just putting these down to take up spaces and to get victory points. Now their chief on the board is going to move from the space, 1 to the upper right and then 1 up. And whenever they move, you move the chief, and then they will take one of their camps from the center tile if they can and put it on the space. And they'll do that for each move they do. And basically how the area majority works is each camp on a hex exerts 1 influence on it. And if you have the most influence, or if you're tied, you both get it, you get the little bonus here. Like this is 2 victory points at the end of the round during the eclipse phase if he has the most influence on this hex. And then you'll see over here to the right, he's going to move down, but if he moves to a place that already has one of his camps, he will not place another one. And then finally, that last symbol is he's going to try to place a village. We both got 3 of them right here, and when you uncover them, they give you free card draw at the end of every round, although not for the AI, they ignore all that kind of stuff. Now, for me to put down a village, I need to have camps that form a little triad all adjacent like this. But the AI has reduced requirements. He just needs to have a junction where 2 camps meet. So he has either this opportunity or this opportunity here. And looking at his tiebreaker, he wants rightmost first, so he's going to go right here. And both for me and the AI, whenever they build a village, they will put all the camps back on the center tile, all the ones that kind of match that village, and the chief for the AI will go back there as well. And these exert 2 influence on all 3 hexes they border. Now, it's kind of lucky for me that he went onto some glacier hexes. Who cares about that? But 2 victory points every turn is super powerful, and it's going to be pretty much impossible for me to throw him off of there now. So that's it for the AI's first action. Let's get to mine. But before we do that, I do draw a 5-card hand at the beginning of each round, and these will be the cards I have for the entire round, barring draw powers. And then I also have my chief card, which will be a bonus for wherever I put my chief meeple. So I have like 2 regular meeples and 1 chief. And to show you the basics of the cards, you'll see they have these little like blue handprint symbols. Those are effort that go towards the actions I'm taking, basically make them and pay for effects of them. And in my starting deck, I have these basic tribe cards with 1. These braves, I have 1 of them with 2. I have 2 of these culture cards. This altar lets me spend a tool from my little board to place a megalith like the AI did. And this feast lets me spend a food to gain an advanced tribe card to my discard pile, do a little bit of deck building. And speaking of advanced tribe cards, my starting card told me which one to draw. In this case, it's a hunter, and each of them is keyed to one of the 4 actions. So this guy has an extra effort. That's what the little plus hand symbol next to the woolly mammoth means when I hunt animals. Alternatively, I can put any of these cards down in my eclipse spot. I do it at the end of the turn, and that'll basically help me to become first player for the next round. But as you can see, the advanced cards have a bonus action. So here I would get to place a free camp, that's the little arrow down, and I get 2 free food, not bad. So which action do I want to take? I could go here to get some more advanced cards into my hand, and they do go straight to your hand whenever you gain cards, by the way, not into your deck. It's 2 effort for each advanced card I want to buy, and again, you can spend as much effort as you want. And besides the cards you play from your hand, for every food you tick down, you get +1 effort if it indicates. You'll see as you get further up your track, it's a little bit harder to do it, and you can't even get food beyond certain points unless you have camps out on the little board you saw before. And additionally on this one, for 1 tool, I could bury one of the cards from my hand or discard pile. And then here I'd get to move somebody on the little idle track, which is extra victory points at the end of the game, and additionally get to bury again. This one lets me get a culture card, and I didn't say, but the 2 culture cards I'm starting with, Altar and Feast, and any other ones I get, at the beginning of each of my turns, like right now, I can play up to 2 culture cards. So I could play Altar or Feast or both if I wanted to. And this one with 3 effort lets me get another culture card. And just to look at them, they can be pretty awesome. Like Stone Spears gets me 2 tools for free. TPs for 1 tool lets me get an advanced card straight into my hand, not to my discard pile. Wow. Nice little combo there. Trapping similarly lets me get an animal for a tool. Cooking is super good. Now you'll see some of the art is not finalized yet. That lets you get a random animal and then eat 1 animal if you want to. Shortcut lets me put down and then move a camp 1 space. Scouting lets me do that and get a food. Oh man, that's good. And then the second option here, and you do have to do them in order, you do these as many times as you want, so if I had like 6 effort, I could get 2 culture cards. And then here I can get a Sacred Stone. The 2 that are available right now, and they tend to come in just 3 types. This one means for every yellow set animal I've eaten that I've turned to the side, I get 3 victory points, because usually they're not worth any victory points, but that gives me some back for them. And this one is based on culling. For each card of the same type I've called at the end of the game, or not each card, but based on the values here, I'll get victory points. So if I'd called 3 to 4 of the exact same card through burying them, I would get 3 victory points. The rest of these aren't available yet until we get to the later rounds. And then the bonus here is I just get to draw a card and gain a tool. Not bad at all. And just to go over my version of the mountain, I can spend effort to either place camps and or move camps. And then for 3 food, if I have that triad of camps, I can build a village. And then the bonus is to place and move a camp for free. And then finally, animals. For each effort, I get to flip up 2 more animals face up to our little board offer here. For 2 effort, I can take one of them and put them into my play area. And you'll see right on them how you kind of get to their victory points. So if I have 1 woolly rhino, it's only worth 1. If I have 2, the combo's worth 3. If I have 4 or more in the set, they're worth 10 points altogether. And the second action is I can choose to rotate, basically eating one of the animals or as many as I want. And you'll see they usually give me a bunch of food, but you don't have their victory points if they've been rotated. And the bonus for that is a free random animal from the top of the deck. So since I have the hunter in my hand, I'm kind of thinking I should do the animals, and maybe I'll spend some food and get a bunch more. So yeah, let's jump right into things. Let's play my altar. Remember, I can play up to 2 culture cards, and I will spend a tool to place a megalith, one of the gray ones you start with. And you have to place your megaliths either orthogonally adjacent to one that's already on the board, or on one of the little starting spaces. And you get the bonus immediately. The little starting spaces let you place another megalith right away. But then otherwise, they're pretty straightforward. The little card symbol is card draw. These ones with a little face are gaining one of those advanced actions. That's burying a card, moving on the idle track, getting a free culture card. That's pretty amazing. So I want to get both of my gray ones down as quick as I can, and I'm about to get a lot of food from animals, probably. So let's get some card draw. I'll go right here. I'll get my other gray one, and I'll go adjacent into one of the card spots. Now here's a key thing. You can put megaliths on top of 2 adjacent megaliths, like on the next level up, and you can even all the way go up to level 3 eventually. And you have this whole multiplicative effect of victory points where your higher ones will give you victory points for all the ones below them. So if I have like 1 megalith on level 3, but 5 megaliths on level 2 and 1, that level 3 one will be worth 5 victory points, and the level 2 ones will be worth each the number of victory points of the megaliths on level 1. It's a bit complicated, but you'll see it as it plays. And I get to immediately draw a card because of the symbol I covered. Just another basic tribe card. And I'm going to go ahead and feast. So that's costing me 1 food, and I get to add to my discard pile 1 person of my choice. The shaman can be amazing, give you 3 effort, 1 in the upper left, and then the +2 if you spend a tool. And she's also great in the Eclipse phase, making sure you get first player. Elder has 2 effort for getting advanced cards. Crafter has 2 effort for culture cards. Pathfinder 2 effort for moving your people around and putting the camps down. And Hunter you already saw for getting animals. I'm going to gain a Crafter. And again, sadly, that goes to my discard pile, not to my hand immediately. I can now discard both of these culture cards out of here. And I can go ahead and go hunting. Or actually, you know what? I have a better idea. Let's get a culture card, I think. And I will put my chief here. That'll give me +1 effort. And then I'll go ahead and use my... Well, no, I want to be able to call some people later. So let's use both of my regular tribe cards to get the 3 effort. And I'm going to first grab this cooking card, because that'll get me my food back in a second. That goes straight to my hand. Now, sadly, I have no tools and no food left, so I can't get any of the sacred stones yet. Not that I'm sure I would have wanted to anyway. But I will get a free card and a free tool. The tribes cards I played go over there. I get my free card. Just another basic tribe card. And my tool. Nice. And by the way, a very important concept is anytime you gain anything in the game, you can choose to bring it down to what's considered a lesser thing. So here, getting a tool, I could say I want a food instead. Or if I got an idol, I could say a tool or a food instead. If I got a card draw, I could have said I wanted an idol. So you have a lot of flexibility in what you gain with stuff. All right, the AI is up again. I cover up the top half of the last card. They do not have an eclipse symbol, so they don't gain anything for that. And now I look, they want to go to the recruiting space. But remember, if I had already been there, they would use the tiebreaker not on the current card, but on the last card. So this would say going left, and it does wrap from left to right. So I have a little bit of predictability about what they might do. But yeah, here they're going to recruit. So I put their meeple there to show that bonus is taken. And then it says first they get another Eclipse card to their pile of bonus cards. Then they get another Megalith, okay. And then they're going to bury somebody, get a tool, and bury again. So in this case, the tiebreaker is down and then left. And since they're already on the down board, they want to go to the left adjacent spot, and they'll always go as high as they can when they're able. Then here, there's no tiebreaker needed. They're just going to bury their top 2 cards and then get a tool. And they never use their tools or food for anything. It's just used for end victory points based on the idle track. And again, their cards don't matter for the burying, except how many they bury. Because looking at that idle track one more time, you'll see the higher they are, the better the conversion rate for their leftover food and tools. So like if they were here, for every 2 food, they would get 1 victory point, and for every 2 tools, they would get 1 victory point. And this one's a little different for the burial. Whichever player is further ahead or got there first, further to the left, they'll gain this better victory point value. If they buried 1 to 3 cards, they get 3, 4 to 5 cards, 6 or more cards buried, 10. And the player behind will get this much cruddier conversion rate here. So it's back to me. I could do hunting and get some animals. But before I do that, let's use my new custom card. This means I get to draw a random animal, and then I can rotate an animal. Drawing from the top, I got, a ground sloth, and there's another one in the offer. I could start a pair. And by the way, my Argentavis over here, he is a wild, so I can make him like a 3rd green to help finish up that set. And woolly mammoths, you'll see, are the worst victory point-wise. They're only worth 1. That's what that gray equals 1 at the bottom means. But they're the best for food. When you rotate them, you automatically go all the way up to your full food value, wherever your camps allow you to go. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate him. He is no longer worth victory points, but I get my full 6 food allotment. And remember, you're not feeding your people. These are just resources. You'll spend them to get the sacred stones. You'll spend them to take actions. And with any action space, you can spend food. And if you cross over one of those little blue icons, I would not, going from 6 to 5, I'll get a free effort. So now with the pair available to me, I think I will go ahead and go hunting. And do I want to use my hunter? He's worth 2 effort, but so is my brave. And I like the idea of placing another camp and getting 2 more food for free. Although I guess I don't need the food, so never mind. Let's go ahead and use the hunter. So that's 2 effort, which is enough to get this sloth. See the 2 equals animal symbol there. And I just kind of put them over each other. And I could spend extra effort to flip up extra animals, but I'm not going to have enough to hunt them anyway, so I'll just stop there. But I do, as my bonus, I don't want to rotate anybody because I already have all the food I need, and I don't want to take away my good animals. I do get a free animal from the top, and it's another woolly mammoth, so that'll be good for food later. Okay, and the AI takes their last card of the turn. No free eclipse. And now they prefer to do the culture action. And although they want to go to an empty space when possible, when it's like this and everything is filled, they don't mind going where I am, but they don't want to repeat where they are. So going to the culture action is fine with them. And I don't need to put the meeple down since there is no bonus anymore. So first they're going to take the rightmost sacred stone. It's always a rightmost tiebreaker. And then let's see, they're going to get, oh my gosh. They're going to get a tool, a culture card, a culture card, a culture card, a culture card, 4 culture cards, and 2 idle movement. Lord. So the tool, there we go. Sacred Stone, they're grabbing this burial one. And once again, they don't pay any cost, they don't get any bonuses, they just put it there. And they get a set amount of points for each Sacred Stone. I think it's just 6, generally the highest value, instead of like me being based on how well they did. Okay, and then 2 idle movements. And how the idle works, they always want to move on the right track first until they're beating me in that little clash for burial points. And then any leftover moves, they'll go up the left track. And then finally, they're getting 4 culture cards. And we're going to go to the tiebreaker. So leftmost and then bottom. And then bottom and then leftmost. So leftmost bottom is this. And then bottom and then leftmost will be teepees. And they pretty much only care about the victory point values. You see teepees is worth 2, shortcuts worth 1, and scouting's worth none. And I can just put them right over here. And then 2 more, bottom left again, and then right bottom. So bottom left is hand drill, and then right bottom is clearly stone spears. Okay, so it has cleared out the entire bottom row. All right, and that'll end the round for them, except for the Eclipse stuff. You look at the top left, they're going to get half an effort towards Eclipse, plus the Eclipse symbols from the other cards, and 1 victory point plus the victory points from the other cards. So all the cards they put in their little Eclipse pile, we're going to look at those as well as this final card's upper left area. And that'll be compared to the effort I put in my Eclipse area, which, I'm going to take my final action. I don't know if I'll put any in there. On average, their cards have half an effort, so they've got 1 from that card plus 3 more. So on average, they would have 2. And if I put 2 effort in, the person who is lower wins the tiebreaker, and that would give me a free megalith, whereas right now I'm just going to get a free card draw. So it's not a terrible thing to do, and I'd also get first choice of actions next round. But I think I'd rather do something. Let's see, I'm thinking maybe tracking. I've got some food, and that would let me get a free animal and a tool. It's not bad. So I could go here again and use all 3 of my effort. Ooh, and the first Sacred Stone space costs 1 food and 1 tool, which I have. And yeah, this one isn't great, but if I'm having a lot of animals coming in, I should be able to tilt some yellow ones eventually. So sure, let's go to the culture place again and spend all 3 to get the culture card. Oh, but scouting, I didn't even do anything with the map. But yeah, for now, let's go with kind of an animal strategy. Now, that does go into my hand, but I can't play it right now because I have to play my culture cards at the beginning of the turn. But that's okay because at the end of the round, I'll draw 5 more cards. Not up to 5, but 5 more. So keeping cards at the end of the turn doesn't hurt you. All right, and then I am going to grab the only Sacred Stone available. I have to pay the 1 food and 1 tool. And I do gain the bonus, which is burying somebody. And I will clearly bury one of my basic tribes people here. All right, now we reveal the AI's labor. We had none, and they had, let's see, that's a 1, 1.5. Okay, 2.5. So they clearly get first place. And they're getting 3 victory points. 2 plus 1. So they move up 3 on here. They stay in first place. And I'm now going to take all of their cards, shuffle them up, and I can flip up the first card for next round. Although I guess I wouldn't do that until the end of the turn. All right, now I'm going to gain my bonus, which is a free card draw. Then if I had any special cards in my Eclipse pile, I have none, but they would let me get their special action. Okay, then we resolve all the terrain tiles. I have control over none of them. I should have at least, I feel dumb, but that's okay. And they have just influence over here, so they get 2 more victory points. And finally, I resolve my player board. Like, if I had uncovered these megaliths, I would get a free idol there. Now, one more thing at the end of the round. All the culture cards that remain get a little token, which means they cost 1 less effort next turn. They only cost 2 instead of 3. But if they remain another round, they'll all get discarded. So cards with a token already get discarded. Then I'm going to fill in from the level 1 culture cards. But after this first round and filling with level 1, I cover the level 1 with this little blocker card, and now all the rest of the culture cards will be level 2 for the rest of the game. So basically at the end of round 2 and round 3. Alright, I draw 5 new cards, and I shuffle my deck when I need to. So I have 7 cards total, because remember I had an extra one left over. I've got my tracking, I've got my altar again, so 2 culture cards. Got my crafter to get more culture cards, and then just a bunch of standard tribesmen. And the AI is first again. No Eclipse card from that or from the newly drawn card. And, oh, he wants to go to the culture action. That's annoying. Oops, I forgot to advance this. And now these 2 Sacred Stones are available. He's going to grab this one. And this one just gives you 1 victory point for every culture card. This one gives you points based on your total influence on the indicated terrain type, which here would be this 1 yellow one in the corner. Sometimes there's 2 of a terrain type. Sometimes there's only 1, so it'd be tougher to get that stone to be good for here. But they grab that. That's their second stone space. And note that they also have a conversion track over here. So like if they got a 4th stone when they already had all 3 filled, they would instead get a megalith. If all their megaliths were out, they would instead bury somebody. So they just kind of go down until they can do something. Beside the Sacred Stone, they'll get a tool, they'll get an idle movement, and 2 culture cards. The idle, they're currently ahead, so they're going to keep on buffing that. And then for culture cards, they want left top and then top right. So both of these corner ones, which will be 3 or 3 points for them. And alright, I wanted to run to culture, but I guess there's no hurry now. So I should probably take the mountain track and try to dissuade them from getting too much influence. But first, I will go ahead and use my tracking culture. I'll spend 1 food. I get a tool and a random animal. In this case, it is a woolly rhino. Oh, and I forgot. You do flip up until you have a number of animals equal to the number of players. Oh my gosh, I need to take that action. So yeah, so never mind. I'm definitely going hunting. I can't miss out on that. But first, I do think I'll use a tool to put down an altar. And I think I want to do a double placement again. I could kind of use the 2 food, but maybe I'll bury instead. Oh, although, wait, I don't have anything in my discard pile, so I'd have to bury from my hand. So, okay, I'll go over here. And I'll go ahead and grab one of those food spots, although I could do the level 2 soon. We'll have a lot of level 2 spots available. But the good thing now is I'll get a free idol at the end of each round. Okay, now for the actual effort, I need 4 to get both of those guys, geez. But I guess I'll do it. That'll use all of my basic people. But no worries, I've still got my crafter and my chief and a ton of food I could spend. So that's my 2nd woolly rhino, my 3rd ground sloth, and I've got this guy who can be a wild for any of them, so that should be pretty good for me. Okay, I'm not going to tilt anybody because my food is fine, but I will get a random one from the top. Oh, and it's a new one, red, which does not match my sacred stone, but that's still cool. Back to the AI. No eclipse card again, so I'll probably want to grab first place. It'd be kind of dumb not to. Okay, he wants to go hunting, but I already went there. And the tiebreaker, remember, from the last card is to the left. So that means, he's going to go to the mountain again. Let's see, he'll get a megalith, move once, and then try to build a village. That's good for me because he won't have enough things down yet. And then he'll move a whole bunch, move again. He'll definitely get that 2nd village down. So his megalith preference is right and then down. Oh, so interesting. He actually did not build a level 2 yet because he has to go to the indicated board. Okay, and then remember, teal is where he's moving from, so he'll go up here. That's a good spot, a free megalith. And then he tries to build a village, but he does not have 2 adjacent because the starting camp doesn't count. Then he'll go here for 1. And then when he moves off the board, he just wraps around to the other spot. So he'll go right there. Okay, and then he'll come down here. And let's see, he wants to build a camp topmost intersection and then rightmost. So that would be right here. So both of these go away. And he gets a village right there, totally locking in that build a megalith at the end of every round spot. Yikes. Now, good thing for me, though, is that he has not touched any of, these actual nice spaces that have a bunch of stuff. So if I can build one there or there, I'll get a ton of bonuses for it. But it is my turn, and I probably want to get some people, because they go straight to my hand, and retire some guys, bury them. And I could probably spend some food to do that. Let's send my chief first. So that's 1 effort. I need at least 1 more. We got that woolly mammoth waiting to be eaten, so let's go 1, 2, 3 extra effort. That'll get me to 4. So it lets me add 2 people to my hand, but they can't be the same type, so I'll get 1 Pathfinder. I gotta compete on that. And then another crafter or a shaman. I don't have enough consistent tool generation to make that as good as I'd like, though. Let's go for another hunter, since I seem to be doing kind of an animal strategy. Okay, if I had a tool, I could spend it, but I don't. But I do get an idle move, and I get to get rid of 1 guy in the burial. So for my idle move, I'll start fighting here, but I am losing the tie since I got there second. And I'll bury another one of my basic tribe cards, try to get those out. Alright, AI's final turn. They do get an eclipse card now, but that's probably only going to be half, and then they got half an effort there, so almost anything will get me first place. And let's see, they prefer mountain, but they've already been there. Remember, I look at the last card's tiebreaker, which is right, so they're going to go hunting, actually. And I think I did this wrong last round. They should not have gotten the topmost bonus. Remember, that's when no one's been there, and clearly I've been to the hunting space. So they're going to use the priority to grab an available animal. Then they're going to flip 2 animals. They're going to grab an available animal, flip 2 animals to get some food, get a random animal, a bunch of stuff. Now, good for me, there is no available animal, so they skip that first action, but then they will flip 2, and you fill in left to right, top to bottom. Oh, and there's a saber-toothed tiger. That's the one I could kill, and the random wild guy. Okay, then here they're going to get the rightmost animal, and then flip 2 more. So that's that one. Ooh, another woolly rhino, and another... Oh, man, I'd like all of those. Okay, they're going to get a food and a random one from the top. It's the first food they've gained, and they get another woolly rhino. And then another food, and the topmost, rightmost animal. And that'll mean they've got a second woolly rhino, the jerks. All right, and that's it for them. I could go hunting. Both those guys are worth it to me. But I think I want to start working toward getting a village. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'll certainly be using my Pathfinder for 2, which would be enough for me to put down another camp and then move 1. Let's see, I don't have enough food to get it anyway, so I might as well use all my food because I bet I'll get in my card that lets me eat my woolly mammoth soon. So that'll give me 2 more, so that's 4 effort. That's enough for 2 camps and 2 moves. And then I wouldn't mind eclipsing either of these people. That'll get me a camp and 2 food, and that'll get me 2 tools. I mean, that seems pretty good to me. So I'll just stick with my 4 effort there. So I think I'll put down 2 camps and then get 2 moves. They always come into the center. Now let's see, I could tie for the free megalith. I could start running down here. Well, I do like getting the free megalith. Let's do that. So that's 2 influence to their 2 for the village. We'll be tied and we'll each get it. Okay, I can't afford a village and I don't have them on a tride anyway and I don't get the bonus, so that's it for me. By the way, I could put my last meeple on the eclipse base. That's always an available action. You get to draw a card and then you get +2 effort to the eclipse tiebreaker. But hopefully my 1 here, oh no, actually that guy got discarded. I'm going to have 2 effort, which means I should automatically beat the AI. So let's check. They have half a symbol and none, but they are getting 2 victory points overall. Brings them to 7, whereas I have 2. So I'll take first place and I'll get a free megalith in a second. Let's see, now I definitely think I want to grab one of these 2 spots. And it doesn't matter where yours are in relation, so even if I have a 2 over here, I'll still get 2 points for those 2 there. So let's go right there for now. Okay, then I do any Eclipse card effects, so I'm going to get 2 free tools, place a camp, and get 2 free food. So that's good, refill my stores a bit, and the camp goes right in the center. Now we score our terrain tiles, we're both getting a megalith, but I go first now that I'm in first place, and then he'll get 2 victory points. And let's see, I'll go ahead and cover up this spot. And then for his megalith, I do look at the last priority, so he's top and then right. So top and then right, he's going to go right there. Awesome, he didn't get the level 2 spot, so I'm kicking butt on the megalith for sure. Okay, and then I score my bonuses. I get 2 free idle movement. So let's jump ahead of him to force him to jump past me, and we'll go there too. All right, and now any culture cards with effort on them go away forever. All the rest of these gain an effort, and we fill in the rest with level 2, much stronger and more valuable culture cards. We also take away all the meeples. We've got at least 2 animals, so we're good to go. I'm going to draw 5 cards. I have none left over. And good, I got my cooking and my feast. Awesome, so I can definitely get a lot of food. Although I've already got 2, so I might want to spend that on my first action and then cook and feast on my second. And I got a hunter. I got just my regular brave. So I think I can hunt second. And I really want to jump in. Oh, I don't have enough food yet if I wanted to do that. Let's see, the new sacred stones. Ooh, this would want to be for all my monoliths on level 2 or higher. That is a good one for me. So let's do the culture one, I think. So remember, it's 2 for a discounted culture, 3 for not discounted. Look at the level 2 ones. That gives me a guide to my discard pile. Not that good, but then a free card draw. That's nice. Ooh, I think for this I have to discard a card from my hand, but I get an idol and 3 camp movements. Wow, that's good. Yeah, I might have to get that. Jeez. I mean, discarding the card hurts, but I've got the basic tribe here. So that would cost me 3, but I do want to have my 2 tools and my 1 food. So if I used my brave, that's 2 effort plus 1 food. That'd be 3 effort, just enough. And then I'll grab the sacred stone with my 1 food and my 2 tools that are left. So that gets me warrior rights to my hand. And I'm going to grab this sacred stone. And I'm getting a free card to my discard as a bonus this time. Let's see, I'm kind of less worried about Pathfinder now. Maybe another hunter? Although I already have a lot of them. Actually, you know what? I like the crafter giving me tools. Why don't I grab her for that even? All right, and then my free bonus, I get a card draw and a tool. Nice. Oh, no, I got the crafter. Might have been the one I just bought. Awesome. Remember, before I take my action, I do get to see the AI's card. There is no eclipse, but they're going to prefer a left action. Well, we'll see what happens. All right, now to the AI. They want to hunt, and they're going to be able to because I'm not there, but still no eclipse card. So they get a tool and 2 food total. Then they're going to grab 1, flip 2, grab 1. So they're up to 4 and 4. They're grabbing the rightmost and then the bottommost of this guy. Flipping 2 and then grabbing the bottom and leftmost, which is a ground sloth. All right, so I'd still like either of those if I get the chance. And that seems to be it for them. All right, now before I do anything else, let's go ahead and use some of my culture cards. Let's cook and get a free animal and then rotate 1. My random one is, a saber-toothed tiger. I want to rotate them for 3 victory points. But my woolly mammoth will get me 9 food. So I'll work on you later, Sabertooth. Okay, and then warrior rights is kind of perfect right now. I'm going to discard this lone tribe card. I get an idle move and then 3 camp movements. So for the idle, I'll just go up here. And for the 3 camps, let's go 1, 2, and I'll be building a village there soon. So let's go down here and clinch this little food place. And I think with that happening, I do want to grab here and get the village laid out. So we'll place here, and I don't really need much effort. Now the people I have left are good at that action. So maybe I'll just spend no effort? Because I don't need anybody to move, right? Yeah, I don't think I want to spend any extra food. Actually, I could spend 1 extra food for 1 effort, since the 3 for the village is going to put me down into like where it's worth effort again anyway. And I guess I'll put a guy down there. And then I will spend 3 food to take all of these guys back and put my village in the middle there. And then as my bonus, I'm getting 1 camp placement and 1 camp movement. And although I do want to start working my way down there, I love the idea of stealing this guy's free monument, because now I have 3 influence and he only has 2. All right, what shall he do in response? Still no eclipse card, wow. But he wants to do the person action, which is the only one none of us has taken, so he'll definitely do it. So that will give him an eclipse card, and then what? He's doing 3 megaliths and an idol? All right, well, the idol's easy. He ties me up here. And let's see, the first megalith is top and then left, but you'll see that he cannot fit there. Once you go here, you kind of block the 90-degree angle one. Second megalith is on the right board to the bottom. And final megalith is on the bottom board to the left. Good lord, this guy's going to get 0 victory points unless he gets something on level 2. Because remember, your level 1s don't score. They just become victory point multipliers for the level 2s and the level 3s. Yes, that was actually a beautiful turn because I can build on top of all of those and just be looking awesome. All right, for my last action, I could use the hunter to get that saber-tooth, tiger, and sloth. That seems like probably the way to go. Or the crafter to grab some more culture cards, but I wouldn't mind using her to try to get first place and getting some free tools. But before anything, what the hey, let's go ahead and use a feast to get a person in my discard pile. And let's get a shaman, why not? But then I think I will go to the food space. I have my chief left, so that's 1. The hunter gives me 2, 3 effort. And I think I'm about to eat some people, so let's go up to 4, 5. Because you can mix and match and spend more as need to. So I'm going to use 1 to reveal 2 more. Ooh, another saber-tooth tiger and that guy. I mean, I want all of them. All right, so if I got 4, I'll get the green and the red. Good lord, I cannot get these to stack in Tabletop Simulator to save my life. Let's see, I'm about to eat a saber-tooth tiger. I guess I could. Yeah, why not? I'll go ahead and spend 2 to get another saber-tooth. And then I can eat as many as I want, but I'll just eat 1 to go back up to 5. Remember, with that stone, that's worth 3 victory points. I'll eat the other one next. And I do not get the bonus because the AI is already there. Meanwhile, for their final card, they are getting a second eclipse, but no bonus here, although they will get 2 victory points. So I still have a chance. Well, no, I guess I probably won't win with only 1 card left. Oh, and by the way, I would have had to say whether I was doing that or not. I do want the tools, so I would do it even if I'm going to lose the eclipse tie. Okay, they want to go to the mountain, and they haven't been there, so they will. But they don't get the bonus, so they're just moving a bunch and trying to build a bunch of villages. Might mess up all my plans, so they're going to go 1, 2, and they'll put people down, so now they are tied again here. Okay, then he's going to go down to here and do that. Okay, now he'll try to build the topmost, rightmost village he can. So topmost and then rightmost, I guess would be like right here. Yeah, because that would have been topmost, but I'm already there, so that's a pretty useless spot to be in. I guess I'm never taking that thing from him. And then he'll move up. And at this point, he's going to ignore the villages because he can't do any more. So this actually works out pretty well for me. So he won't beat me there. He will tie me here, unfortunately. But he won't beat me there. So a lot of these guys are doing nothing for him. So that was, again, a pretty good turn for me. But let's see how the eclipse phase goes. I've got only 1 effort. He's got none here yet. Okay, that's only half. Come on, be nothing. He wins the tie. Remember, I'm in first place right now. He gets 4 victory points. Wow. So he's up to 13, and he does take the tie. Now, he does not, again, get the bonus. So that means I'll get a card, but he will not get a megalith. I do get 2 tools from my crafter. Looking at locations, he's getting a megalith before I am, and then he's getting 2 victory points, and that's the only things that he has domination over. Oh, I got rid of his cards. Shoot. I don't know what the megalith preference would be. Well, we'll just flip it. Okay, bottom left, but sorry about that. Oh, so now he can actually build up. There he goes. So now that's worth 5 victory points for him, so that is pretty good. Okay, but then for me, I'm getting 2 food, a megalith, 4 food total, and a victory point. So 4 food, a victory point, and a megalith. My first victory point, yay! And for my megalith, I'll definitely grab the only level 3 spot while it's there. And I actually can only hold 3 food, but unfortunately food can't convert down to anything else, so I'll just lose 1, waste 1. All right, and then my bonus is 2 idle movement and another free card, so I'll have 7 at the start of the turn. Let's see, I'll jump another one ahead of him, and I'll go up into 3 for 1 victory points here. All right, all these level 1s are gone, and the 2 remaining level 2s are cheaper. And this is going to be our last round, so these will be our last culture cards available. We also have our last stones, but we can get any of the ones going backwards. And we're down to one animal, so we do get a free flip. Wow, more saber-toothed tigers. I'll get them. All right, the AI is first, so we get to see their first card automatically. They do get an eclipse card, and then we're going to do another one. No eclipse card, but they are going to do the take a person action. They're going to get another megalith. I don't love that. And bury somebody and get another eclipse card. Megalith's going top right. But there is sadly a level 2 spot available. That's another 5 victory points for him. And then they're just burying one card. They have not done much of that in a while. All right, let's try to organize these a little bit. And let's see, first, I can build a megalith with my altar. I can also do tracking. Food to get tools. I mean, I have so much food, so sure. All right, so we'll do the altar. We'll go ahead and grab that level 2 spot, and maybe we can get the other one too. And then I will do tracking. So 1 food to get a tool. I'm getting a random animal, which is, oh nice, a 3rd gray. So wow, I've got 3 woolly rhinos if I use the wild, 3 reds. I already have a complete set of greens, so I'd love to get another blue or another red, and then more yellows isn't going to hurt. All right, it's both the culture cards I can play this turn. Now I'm thinking I might want to do another village. Yeah, that seems to be the most kind of time-pressing one. So let's go there. And I do have a Pathfinder for 2 effort. I'll certainly bring my food down 1 to make it 3 effort. That might already be enough. Let's see, I need to do 1 to bring another one in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh wait, that's a lot. Yeah, I need 5 to get over here. I guess I can use my 2 random tribesmen. There we go with the food, that's 5 effort. So that's 1 to put another camp down. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'll spend 3 food and lose all 3 of them. But there we go, some free food, some free idle movement, some free tools all at the end of the round. I like that, and no real competition. And then I do get a free camp placement and movement. And, I mean, yeah, I guess I want to deny them this again. All right, their second action, another Eclipse card. And they prefer to do the mountain one, but I just did it. So they're going to the right, so they're going to hunt. Let's see, they're getting 1 tool, 2 food, and then a bunch of animals. So their tools are full. Any more they get will become food. And then let's see, they're gaining top leftmost. I guess it's all yellow. They're flipping 2 and then gaining top rightmost. So that'll be another yellow, but I can get that red or that wild. Okay, then they're getting left and then downmost. So they're getting the red. And then they're flipping 2 more. Okay, another yellow for me or a red. Oh man, okay, I definitely want to go hunting at some point this turn. But for now, I think the obvious action is to go here, get a culture card, and get my final stone that I can fit. Do I have enough? Yes, 3 tools, exactly. Nice, and of course the food. Let's see, I do have 2 effort with the crafter, which if I buy a discounted one is fine. Could get one of these ones that lets me bury somebody, but that would only be 3 cards buried, which is not enough to do anything. So I think stargazing makes the most sense, right? That would let me do I have to discard a card to use it? When I'm definitely going to get to place 1 free megalith at the end of the turn. Oh, I should have gone over there. I'd like to get both my megaliths down. Do I do stargazing and just suck up the hunter loss? No, but then I need to also get 1 more effort. Yeah, all right, so I'll spend a food to get a 3rd effort. I'll get stargazing into my hand. I'll spend another food and all my tools to get a 3rd stone. Oh, wait. That will let me get a card and bury somebody. All right, so forget stargazing. I'm going to get one of these cheaper ones. I don't have the tools, though. Darn it. All right, well, I'll get this one that lets me bury somebody. So storytelling instead of stargazing. Not great. So that does mean I am using the food. And then, yeah, the extra food and the tools. All right, so tilted blue guys I don't have. What is that, next to the white terrain? I have 2 next to it. So that would give me 3 victory points. Or 1 per culture card. I've got to have, at least 5 or 6 of those. Let me get that one. All right, I get to bury a card, and I get to gain a card to my discard pile. So we'll bury a regular tribes person, of course. And I don't know, they're all worth 1 victory point, and I'm never going to get to use them, so I'll just gain another shaman. Oh, and then wait, my bonus is a card draw and a tool. So yeah, this is stupid. Let's say that I got a storytelling and kept an extra food because of a discount, because I would have had the tool, and that's all I want. And I get to draw a card. Regular tribe. Okay, so I'll be hunting a bit, and I can get a 3rd person buried, or a 4th person buried for higher victory points there. All right, the AI's last action of the game. They do not get an Eclipse card, and they want to hunt, but they've already been there. And let's see, last card, they're going to go to the left. So they're going to put some more people down, which is probably the best thing for me, although they are doing a megalith. That's not great. Oh, no, they're not doing a megalith because we've already been there. Beautiful, so they're basically just going to move around doing nothing, most likely. Well, I guess it depends. They might get somewhere good. All right, so first this guy is bouncing over there. And if all the people are from the center already, they will take from the furthest glacier space and use them a tiebreaker, so they'll take from this higher one. Okay, and then they'll go here, so taking from there. And they just skip over the center space, so they'll go here, taking from there. Now they'll go down here, that's some victory points, and that's the only glacier space they can take from. And then they'll go back here, and there's no glaciers to take from. I'm actually not sure what the rule is here, so I'll just be nice to them and assume they don't do anything so they can get some actual bonuses in a second. Alright, so my last turn, I am certainly hunting. And I've got 2, 3... Oh, well, first I will play the culture card, spend a tool, and I get to bury somebody, doesn't really matter. I'll get one of my last basic tribe cards. And then, yeah, I got 3 efforts so far, but I'd like to get 2 of those, so let's make it 4. Oh, wait, that's already my leader, so that would be 4. So if I spent 2 food, I could make it 6 and get all of them, and then I could just eat enough to get enough food anyway. So yeah, let's get all 3 of these guys. So the yellow, the wild will complete my blue set with the other wild, and the red set is complete. And I'm going to eat both of these guys. Remember, you can eat more than one, so that'll be, remember, they're all worth victory points. And then I spent all my food. That gets me up to 7, my current max. And alright, I ignored the eclipse entirely, but let's see what he got. 1 victory point, nothing, and nothing. That was actually great for me. He, of course, keeps first place, and he goes up to 16. And then clearly I don't care about getting a card draw, so I'll gain an idle move. I guess he's not going to move anymore. Wow, he just gave it up to me easy, so I'll try to get my resources to be worth more. Okay, now we do the map. So he's getting 2 victory points. He doesn't win in any of these. He's getting 4 victory points, and that's it. So he goes up to 20. I'm getting a tool, 2 food, an idol, megalith. So that's 4 food and a victory point. So 4 food, a tool, victory point, idol, megalith. So that's my second victory point. Idol will clearly be that. Oh, I can't fit any more food. Darn it. But I do get a tool. And I didn't quite get my last megalith. But we can get another one on level 2. Bam. And finally, I get my terrain bonuses. The 2 card draw I don't need. But I can convert them to idols or tools or food. And I'm also getting 3 free idol moves. So let's see. I guess I can get it to 1-1. That's probably the best thing. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then both the card draws will get it to 1-1. There we go. All right, and that's it. We do endgame scoring. I got to imagine I kicked his butt pretty badly this time. So first we do Sacred Stones. He got 2 for 12. Gets him to 32. And I got 3 yellow taps, so that's 9. 2 for each of my monoliths on a higher level than 1. And 1 for each of my culture cards. All right, so I have 9. I had 5 culture cards, so that's 14. Let's see this. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 10. So that's 24. I'm up to 26. Okay, next is the offering track, our food and tools. I've got 1-1. I've got 7 and 1 tool, so that's 8. 34 wasn't that great. And he's all the way back at 4-1. I've never seen him that low. And he's got, let's see, 6 plus 5, it's 11. Oh, so just 3, because I think it rounds down. Okay, so 35. Okay, then the honor track for buried cards. He buried 3, and I buried 4. Ouch. He gets a smaller bonus if he gets a single point, and I get 6. Oh my gosh. Yeah, usually they're very competitive, but this time I think they just had a lot of wasted kind of movement actions around the board. Maybe I was supposed to do something different, so they kind of got routed. All right, tribe and culture cards. So I believe they just get all the points for the ones they buried. That's 3. Then they've got 8 from their culture cards, so that's 11. And I edged them out a bit with 13. Okay, and then animals and megaliths. So animals, they got a pair there. That's 3. And then they want to make their biggest pair bigger, so that's actually 6, plus 3 is 9, plus 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13. They're up to 60, but here's where I'm going to destroy them. My cards just went crazy, but I have a complete set of red, so that's 10, complete set of blue, that's 20, complete set of green, that's 30, and then nothing from the other ones. So way ahead to 83. And then finally, megaliths. I think I'm going to win on this too. So each level 2 and level 3 megalith is worth the number of your color megaliths beneath them. So he's got 2 level 2s that are each worth 5. So that's 10 for him. So his final score, if I didn't miss anything, is just 70. And for me, my level 3 is worth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I have 4 level 2s, each are only worth 2. So that's 8 plus 6, that's 14. Not as good as I thought. Oh, 97. I didn't quite go over 100. So there you go. That was Endless Winter. I didn't show you some modules they have that the AI can interact with and you can also get to kind of change up your options a bit. And also a big thing is the AI has hard cards you can put in that make all of the actions they take in the columns stronger. So you can definitely kick up the AI to where I probably would have had a much tougher time winning. And, I might have played something wrong on the map here. I'm still not sure. So, we'll just say that was maybe a win, maybe not. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the playthrough. Good gaming, and we'll see you at the next stop.